Last time on Crown of the Kobold King, Scarab leads the two bird brains through the forest, following the tracks of a hunter and their prey. The colonel willingly falls into a spike trap and finds a dead hunter. After that, the large rooster tries to kill himself again by bumbling into a wolf den. Joq and Scarab are able to distract the wolves and save the colonel. Traversing the forest again, the group saves a fox from a trap, but then they are ambushed by a hobgoblin. The heroes stomp the hobgoblin and take pity on him, sending him on his way with some food. As they travel deeper into the forest, they find a large, terrifying, bipedal wolf that speaks with its mind. Our story continues, and probably ends now!
As you find yourselves on the edge of a great tree line opening up to a grand clearing, you see a building long crumbled to ruin, overtaken by nature and crawling vines. As you begin to take in the surroundings, a massive creature begins to stir and move out from behind one of the walls. A great lumbering wolf. Its body heavily scarred, axes embedded into its flesh as it lumbers towards you, shoulders rolling. It snarls back its lips, baring its teeth, and in your minds you hear a great voice call.
Why have you come here?
Don't worry, guys, I've got this. What was the name of the person we're looking for?
Oh, let me look at my notes.
It was, Duringar, I believe.
Hello, friend. We mean you no harm. We have come in search of a Duringar. Does this name ring a bell? Oh, great beast.
And he puts his hand, he grovels before the great wolf.
Joq sees Scarab grovel and he and he just kind of bows.
Roll me diplomacy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It's going to be a 15.
The creature's snarl relaxes as it regards your words for a moment. It seems almost amused by your groveling.
No. I suggest you take your search elsewhere.
Well, you heard him. We should go.
Scarab, sir, Mr. Scarab, sir. There was another name. I think it was Droskar. Maybe you could try that one.
It's Scarab with his back facing the great beast. Riley turns his head over his shoulder.
Droskar? Ring a bell? Droskar?
Like an O, like O. Droskar.
Droskar? A dwarf? Anything?
Roll me another diplomacy.
Come on.
21.
Oh, good.
He's showing you his butt. He's like a dog would.
You find me in a favorable mood. Leave now. Leave the loggers to their fate.
Oh.
My good sir, Colonel Cobcorn, nice to meet you. Retired. What have the loggers done to you? Is there anything we can do to assist?
We have no true affiliation.
I'm not even sure why we're in these woods, to be terribly honest. Forest, trees. The cops. I'm not sure.
I tire of your questions.
We'll be going. No.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. This way. This way.
As you pull back from the clearing, you see he lumbers back towards the ruins, and as he crosses the threshold of the wall, 2 wolves take his place and stand guard.
Assuming different wolves,
Much smaller, standard
From-
standard wolves.
but from before.
You don't see name tags.
Could we do like a perception to see if like they look different?
Sure.
Maybe like a different color
Give
or
me a nature check.
smaller or whatever.
Yeah, I'm rolling for that as well. I got a 21. Man, yeah, I really don't
I
want
got an 11.
to make this guy mad.
21 is definitely enough to know. You can't be positive, but they do look at least the same as the 2, if they're not the same 2. So they just look like standard run-of-the-mill wolves, things you would expect to find in the woods. It is unusual that they seem to be obeying this larger creature. In fact, roll me an Arcana or a Nature check.
I could get that Arcana.
Roll nature.
Nature.
Oof. 9.
21 Arcana.
16 nature.
Joq and Cobcorn. The moment of contact with the creature was a bit startling, but thinking back on it now, you realize the large one is no wolf at all. That is a warg.
Wow.
You know, thinking about it logically, rationally, I don't think that I've ever spoken to a wolf. I mean, I didn't necessarily speak to that one either, but you know.
Very true. It's a warg.
Yes, creatures of the forest don't usually speak with their minds. There's something different at play here.
Well, you know, we gave it our best shot. I think maybe we should just go on back to town and have a nap. Maybe some tea. You know, it's about close to lunchtime. I'm a bit hungry, if I'm being honest. I don't want to be in the woods anymore, Cobcorn. Let's go, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what we're supposed to do with this wolf man. Maybe calm him down? He didn't want to tell us what's going on. He's got something against the loggers.
Now, we could go talk to the Mr. Lumberjack Man. Maybe he can do something about him so we can pass on through without any trouble at all. And that would be just swell, if you ask me.
It's true. I do like to avoid bloodshed. But yeah, seriously, it's like,
What are your current objectives?
I do remember also when we spoke to the barkeeper, whatever their name was, didn't catch it. They did mention a monastery as well, that maybe they could help us there. Or there was also this medicine man, I believe, that they mentioned. He might know something about the woods.
it's
About
true.
creatures in the woods.
Ah, yes, I was hoping this would be easy, but perhaps we do need more knowledge.
Yeah, better than picking a fight.
So, what we're doing out there is trying to find Durangar, right?
Mm-hmm. So far, the 3 objectives that you have, baseline is to locate Scarab's missing cart and pig Lightfoot. The second objective, given by the sheriff, was to locate Druingar, who disappeared 10 years ago, looking for Droskar's crucible. The third objective was to hunt down a missing hunter who passed through the loggers' camp. Just, I believe it was a few days prior.
Which we presumably found him in the pit.
Sorry, I do have notes, but they're really not great. Which is why I just said all of that random stuff with no real anything.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we've been gone a bit. So it's okay, we have to recollect. Recollect.
And then missing hunter. Because I have all of those in my notes, but just in random spots. So maybe we could go around town and maybe find out a little more about this Druin garb man. Get a better idea of what we're actually looking for. Or if anyone knows about a hunter.
We don't have anything of Druingars, do we? Druingar.
No, just his
Dueling.
name. And it is Druingar.
You know, you should have asked that warg about your cart.
Didn't want to step on too many toes.
He could probably handle one more question. Or not.
I don't think it'd be terribly painful if you stepped on my toes. How much do you weigh, do you think?
Well, since I lost my cart, I've been feeling pretty heavy.
He skulks.
I think we should go talk to the lumberman.
We should go.
Yeah, let's go let him know that we found this warg's location. That might help.
Okay. Roll me a survival check.
20.
Nice.
As you retreat back into the woods and make your way forward, you travel for a few hours, heading back towards Falcon's Hollow. However, something seems a little different. Maybe you took a wrong turn at a tree or got turned around in all the commotion, but you don't recognize this particular part of the forest. Or maybe you do. No, that's not right. You realize you're a little lost. As you come to the edge of what you assume to be the exit out of the forest, you instead find yourself in another large clearing.
It's like a crazy magical forest or something.
Do you hear that? Something about these woods make me feel lost. Like I could call them the Lost Woods. Almost like I hear a faint music in one direction or another and I don't know which one to follow.
You need to take it easy on that sleepy time to you, son.
As you point out the sounds of the forest around you, you suddenly become aware that it becomes very quiet. Almost like there's a dead silence in this opening. It opens to a small, almost perfectly circular glade. The nearest strands of pine, fir, and darkwood twist away from the clearing as if bent by some impossibly strong wind, or perhaps in an attempt to turn away from the clearing itself. At the glade's center squats an ugly cottage. Little more than a pile of twigs, shoots, and ivy stacked upon mud walls. From the thatched wood dangle bundles of gnarled roots, old animal bones, and knucklebone bangles, all clattering together like a gruesome wind chime. A dozen small thatched fetishes, each shaped like a tiny person or an imp or a rearing serpent, stand propped in the yard, keeping guard before a rickety plank door. You also notice off to the side what appears to be the remains of a recent campsite set near the northern portion of the clearing opposite you.
So a little cottage and a campsite further away from it. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cottage is in the center, campsite on the northern part of the clearing.
Weird. Scarab with his small pig next to him has his pistol ready. Pulls his hood up over his head, above his eyes.
We should go to that campsite. Stay quiet. Something is off. Keep your eyes on that house.
Oh yeah. Is there any light coming from the house? Or is it too
It doesn't seem
middle
so.
of the day? Okay.
If anything, you would suspect the house may itself be abandoned just from its dilapidated exterior, lack of light within, no smoke.
Is there any sort of check I can make to, I guess, tracks and or strange signs Like signs of struggle, signs of life.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
22.
As you make your way towards the small campsite on the northern end of the circle, you do, in fact, see what looks to be signs of struggle. The tent is still mostly propped, however, partially caved in as if something tumbled over it. The fire was not doused, and so you can see scorch marks along the edge of it as if it burned until it died. And most notably, you see tracks and what appears to be something dragged away from the campsite.
Something I was going to mention earlier. We may have found the hunter. Maybe. But we never found his camp. Good hunter always has a camp.
Ah, this is his place.
Maybe.
You know, I think it'd be terribly rude for us to join in unannounced, don't you think? Maybe we should continue looking for town. That is where we were trying to go in the first place.
True, well, we could check this cottage really quick.
Aye.
Wouldn't hurt a thing, right? Colonel starts walking towards the cottage.
Because what do we have if we go back to town? Other than we've seen the creature you told us about.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Roll me a survival check.
Okay. I was going to ask about, like, what time of day? Sorry if you already said it.
I believe at this point, traveling again, you're looking just after midday. I would say probably 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And you think that, though you are lost, the distance traveled will probably take you the remainder of the day to get back to town.
Word. Okay. 16 on survival.
The tracks around the campsite appear to be kobold tracks.
What?
There are a few human footprints as well that are indicated around the scuffle of the drag marks, and there appears to be 2 sets of kobold tracks on either side of the drag, and the drag leads off to the east.
How many sets of humans?
Just one.
Tracks of kin.
Can I recall knowledge to possibly know what kind of kobolds?
Yes.
Like, would I be able to maybe know what tribes live around here?
Roll me a society check.
Ooh, can I roll a society as well? I got society.
I do have a special lore, mercantile.
If it's higher, go ahead, because you are familiar with the peoples in this region, as you have been a trader here before.
It is higher. Because I want to, lowering some veil here. He was part of an army.
Ooh.
So I feel like he would maybe at least know names of other tribes,
Right.
or
Absolutely.
such as.
Got a 19 society.
Bad roll. 11. Mercantile.
Copcorn, you recall while in town, there was talk of an upsurge in kobold activity, in which there have always been kobolds in the area, but they become more aggressive, almost like they're attacking anyone who comes into their territory, whereas before they would typically flee in fear, as they are cowardly creatures. Lending this information to Scarab, you would recall that the primary clan in the region is known as the True Scales.
True scale.
True scales. Cowards.
Yeah, they're dragging somebody off.
No, they're not dragons. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. We should be careful. This is strange. Whatever happened here?
Do these footprints go near the cottage?
It doesn't seem so. It seems that whatever happened here resulted in a struggle that then led to someone or something being dragged away into the woods. And you can clearly see where those go, so they could be followed. The cottage itself seems to be just on its own.
Well, before we follow those tracks, I do want to check the cottage, and since this is a trapper, I should probably look for traps.
I don't see any reason for us to check the cottage. I'm gonna be honest with you, Colonel. I just don't see when we clearly have tracks that we can follow.
I'm going to need 2 more rolls. Let me get a Society from Cobcorn and an Arcana from Joq.
Ooh.
My cart might be in that cottage.
8. Roll the 2.
22.
Oh, good.
Joq, you recall from y'all's brief stint in town, maybe it was in the tavern overhearing other people speak, but they used to have a witch problem in these parts. You recall the name Ulis or Ulis Mila? You recall that some time ago a rather notorious witch coven held up in these parts. It's rumored that they've long since abandoned the Darkmoon Vale, though many in the town still believe their otherworldly influence still remains.
Something about this feels very witchy, and I don't know if you know anything about witches, Cobcorn, but they're a bit tricksy.
Well, if there's witches, there's magic. I think magic's pretty cool.
Cobcorn, I don't think that you understand what you could be stumbling into. I mean, if they're particularly skilled witches, we could step through that door and end up on a different plane altogether.
Witches, witches, witches! It's fine as long as you have an offering.
Looks down at the fox.
Oh. Well, the guy's been following us.
You haven't noticed?
No.
It's been nipping at your tail the whole time.
I don't think that's how witches work.
Hey, little guy.
Scarab.
How many have you seen?
I've just heard many a rumor of witches. Some in town, too. If I recall correctly, it was a rather tall, red-haired woman. I think that she was eating a pie. Doesn't matter. I think that she was talking about something of witches here. Now, she did say that they've been gone for a long time, but that doesn't matter. They could still be here. I don't know. Whew. Could be scary. It is scary.
Cobcorn, proceed.
Oh, dear.
Let me check it out. Okay, we can vote on it. I do want to check it out. Scarab, you want to check it out?
Here, here.
All right. Everything will be fine, son.
Please don't call me son. Just call me Joq.
I'll go walk up to this door and check for traps as I'm walking up.
Yeah, Scarab will be checking for traps as well.
Joq will follow
It's a
behind.
natural 1 perception.
He'll also look for traps.
You failed your perception!
I got a 20 perception.
Oh, nice.
Joq got a 25.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
As the 3 of you make your way towards the cottage, the grass beyond the campsite is waist high. Scarab, you struggle to keep your head above the whispering throngs. Whispering? What the fuck is that word?
I hate tall grass. It sucks.
It's itchy.
Scarab, as you walk through the tall grass, you struggle to keep your head above the wave of green. As you pass, however, the only thing that stands up above the grass are these almost scarecrow-like effigies. Woven together bits of vine and bone, feather, and other accoutrement make up these bizarre and almost haunting-looking effigies. 14 of them, you count, scattered around the yard as you walk, though Cobcorn feels unnerved and suspicious of them. They don't seem to do anything, aside from rot away. As you all approach the cottage, you don't spy any traps, but you do see that the door has long since molded and rotted off its hinges, and appears to be wedged in place.
Like somebody wedged it there in place, or like it just kind of...
Like it rotted in its
In
own
that way.
frame. So, it doesn't seem like you'd be able to swing it open. You'd probably have to give it a shove.
Let's give this guy a shove.
Give me a athletics check to force open.
It's dilapidated. It's trash. We don't need to be here.
Natural 20
Hey.
for a 27.
Copcorn, with ease, you brace yourself against the door and lift it straight out of place.
Yeah,
It
lift-
gives a
Here, Jack, hold this.
Joq, I don't know how many times.
gives a great heaving creak as you remove it from its frame, and a fair cloud of dust kind of settles off of it as you move it away, revealing the opening to a dank and reeking cottage filled with shadows. They attack. Just kidding.
Oh.
Haphazardly hung shelves line the wall, covered in all manner of clay jugs, clouded bottles, strangely cut rocks, rotted bunches of herbs, and a museum of other crude curios and remnants of a bone grinder's artifice. You also see a rusted iron cauldron with a hinged lid built to resemble a frog's jaws. It seems to have a depth of maybe about 3 feet, and it sits in the center of this hut's single room. Its ash-covered surface is shaped with a relief of capering fiends and leering devils. There's a high black chair that stands against the far wall across from the door, made of wicker. The gigantic curved tusks of some strange monstrous beast, and thousands of humanoid teeth.
Okay, we've seen it. We can go.
In the chair sits what looks like a corpse, wrapped in filthy burial linens, its form padded with pungent herbs and sprouting patches of thick white mold. This ominous shape is actually only a bundle of branches, mud, and linen left behind by some unknown occupant.
Witches are weird. Why do they do all this? Weird.
You may wish to hold your breath if you touch anything.
You find yourselves standing at the doorway to this hut. What do you do?
Oh. Yeah, Colonel will walk in. Get a better look at things.
As you make your way into the hut, you hear a sudden screech like metal on stone. Jostled, you look towards the center of the room and you see the cauldron itself slowly begins to move. Its great hinged lid opens before clamping down with a loud throng, and it lunges at you. Roll for initiative.
Yes.
Here we go.
Here we go. Alright, Cobcorn, what'd you get?
Got a 10.
Joq
13.
and Scarab.
20.
As the cauldron begins to creak and clang to life, you see a flame stoke within it, and smoke billows from its flapping lid. It begins to charge, but Scarab, your reactions are quick. What do you do?
Ooh. First things first.
Oh, you also get that 10 paces during initiative if you wanted to do that.
Frick, thank you so much. I would like to run away.
Okay.
So yeah, fight starts. Cauldron is clanging. Scarab runs back 10 feet as a free starting action. And I will bite the bullet and do a knowledge check. 18 on this creature.
Does this thing contain the spirit of a witch, or is it the witch's familiar?
Could be a familiar.
Have to be an Arcana check.
Okay. So Arcana, that'll be a 15.
15 is enough to know that this is some form of animated construct, presumably left behind as some form of guard dog to this long abandoned shack. One thing that you know is that they tend to be, as constructs are, immune to bleed, death effects, disease, doomed, drained, fatigued, healing, mental effects, necromancy, non-lethal attacks, paralysis, poison, sickness, or unconsciousness. You can also surmise by gazing upon this thick steel creature that it must be very hard, and you'll have to do a significant amount of damage to penetrate. I can also elaborate and say on that, because it is an animated construct, you know it is an object, which means it likely has a broken threshold.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It looks as though we'll have to smash it.
Scarab raises his gun arm and fires. Natural 1.
Oh, no.
You failed your perception!
Sorry, wrong fucking button.
You're gonna blow it.
I rolled a 1 and drew a card. Here's what happens. Scarab goes to fire his weapon. It pops off in his hand, and he now has a 1d4 persistent bleed,
Oh, no.
which sucks.
That's really bad.
Do I take that immediately?
I believe it happens at the beginning of your turn, and then you check at the end of your turn to see if you can end the effect.
Yeah, word. Okay. Ah! With his final action, he's going to empty out the busted bullets and add a new one in. He's going to reload. That's it.
That's how it went last time. Really sucked at the beginning, but we prevailed.
Yeah, no, it's just the way.
As your errant shot misses the cauldron, it lunges forward undeterred, and it attempts to clamp its lid around Cobcorn.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Hey,
I was
what are you
gonna-
doing? Get away from me! Oh, boy.
Oof, that's a 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
Does 11 points of bludgeoning damage,
Ow.
and you are now grabbed. Then that is its turn. Move, attack, grab. The lid clamps around one of your legs.
Ow! Almost dead.
It's really starting to smell amazing in here.
11 damage rate.
Joq, it's your go.
Okay. So Joq will pull out his amulet and attempt to exploit vulnerability. So it's a recall knowledge on it.
Okay. Arcana.
Well, I use my esoteric look
Sure.
for my exploit.
Gotcha.
That is a 14.
Now, perhaps it's the frenzy of Cobcorn being attacked so ferociously, but your mind scrambles in the moment and you don't seem to recall.
Killed by a cauldron.
Cooked alive. God, that'd be even scarier. Just thinking about what Matt said, and the fact that it starts to smell really good.
Yeah, smells
Imagine
like chicken.
This abandoned house, empty clearing that smells of rotisserie chicken.
All the beasts of the forest start gathering around.
Oh, we're screwed.
You're howling in the woods, eyes glow from the dark.
A bunch of cars pulling up next to the house.
How wide is the door?
Yeah, I'll get a 10-piece. The door is 5 feet wide, but you could squeeze past Cobcorn.
Yeah, he'll get in there. And that's his round.
All right, Cobcorn, let him have it.
I'm gonna let me have it first and
Take a
lay
bite.
lay on hands. Get myself. What is it? 6? Yeah, it's 6.
You're just like massaging your thigh, like deep tissue massage while this thing is clamping on your leg.
Really hurt. He's gonna draw his. How do you say this thing again? Yao Huan Dao. I'm probably saying it wrong.
Yao Huan Dao.
Yu Huan Dao. And then his third action, he's going to try to break from this grapple. 19 to escape.
With a loud clang, you wrench your leg free from the cauldron.
Nice. Heal, draw weapon, break free. Colonel's done.
Scarab.
Scarab goes to pull the trigger on his pistol, and his injured hand bleeds for 4 damage.
Oof.
Damn.
Ouch!
就换到
Ju Huan Dao.
He shakes it off and he fires.
Get it.
14 to hit.
The bullet ricochets off the side of the cauldron.
Killing Cobcorn. Oh, bother. Yeah, he's just like shaking his hand. It hurts. He points at the cauldron and says, "Go, pig!" He's going to use his final 2 actions for his little pig to run up and strike.
Get it, piggy.
Come on, pig. Ooh, 20 to hit.
20's a hit. Roll for
Yes.
10 damage.
Oh, good.
Let me see. It's piercing, though.
Damn,
Strikes out with its little tusks.
that's good damage.
Yeah, it is.
It's a D8 plus 3.
As your perky porcine pal punctures the cauldron with its tusk, you notice it leaves a small dent.
Okay.
Something. It's something.
Good pig! That's my turn.
Having been knocked slightly off balance by this pig, the cauldron turns, flapping its jaw ferociously as it lowers down and attempts to bite the pig.
As Joq sees it like rotate towards the little pig, he raises up his amulet and it starts to let off a black mist, and he uses his reaction amulet's abeyance. So the pig gets a... You or a target ally within 15 feet gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage. The resistance is equal to 2 plus your level. So 3 plus 3 resistance to the damage.
Very nice.
Cool.
Okay, let's see if this hits. Oh, same as before, 24 to hit.
That's a crit. AC 14. Damn.
Yeah, that would be 11 points of bludgeoning damage altogether, minus 3, 8 points of bludgeoning.
Hang on there, little pig, and Colonel's going to use his liberating step to take away 3 more damage.
Oh, nice. So
Okay, 5 damage.
bring it down to 5. Oh,
Yes.
Huge.
And if it...
Scarab starts crying.
Did it grab
Just-
the pig?
It spends its second action to grab the pig.
Yeah, he's going to use part of liberating step as you now get to try to get out of it. Escape
Okay.
the grapple.
Ooh, and what's pig rolling for that?
Athletics against...
Athletics DC, yeah.
Ooh, that's a wriggly pig. A 21 to escape.
Hell yeah, dude.
You see that it was beginning to tilt back and the flames inside of it stoked higher.
Mm-hmm.
But you wriggle free and the cauldron bounces in place angrily.
Woo! Dang. Thank you, friends.
Acid turn. Yes, very good.
One of those resistances that you listed off, did you say fire? You said like 15 resistances. I can't remember if you said fire.
It does not... I listed off immunities.
Immunities.
I'll read them again real quick. Bleed, death, disease, doomed, drained, fatigued, healing, mental, necromancy, non-lethal, paralyzed, poison, sickened, unconscious. Joq, it's your go.
Joq is, now that he's closer to this cauldron, he'd like to try and exploit vulnerability again. It's a natural 1, so
No.
critical failure. Couldn't remember the right. Well, it's not an
Handing her the
attack.
box.
It has a critical failure thing. You couldn't remember the right object to use and become distracted while rummaging through his esoterica. He becomes flat-footed until the beginning of his next turn. So he's like rummaging through his like different bags, and is just like dropping stuff, and it's like, ah! And then he will draw his, or I guess unsheath his sword, cane sword. Shing! And attack.
And you are flanking the cauldron with the pig.
That is a 25 to hit.
Oh, good.
Your sword clangs against the side of the cauldron, but The brief moment of defeat you thought you would feel is gone as you see a crack form. Critical hit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. 14 damage.
Very nice.
Hell yeah.
As the clang of your blade hitting the cauldron rings out, that crack begins to widen, and you can see the glow of the flames within showing through. A powerful hit.
And that is his round.
Which means it's the Colonel.
The Colonel!
Oh boy.
Kentucky Fried.
He's slapping his leg from the burn. A little fire catching on his leg. Oh, no, no! And he's holding his Yao Huan Dao. And he does the whole Dark Souls thing where he holds it above his head and he runs his hand across the blade and the thing just gets shinier and sharper. He is also a Magus, champion Magus, doing a spell strike on this piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna turn in my PP.
Roll twice, take the higher.
Come on, I don't want to miss this. He's using a spell called Gouging Claw on his weapon. I'll keep that. It's a natural 20.
Woo! Yes, finally!
Oh my god.
I think you get to. Do you get to choose magic from the critical deck?
I don't know. Are we drawing up here or
Facing you.
Yeah,
facing-
you, and then you
facing
put it
us.
in the back.
slashing? Yeah, there's slashing or there's bomb or spell. I don't know.
Choose between slashing and spell, whichever you prefer.
I like bomb or spell because it's triple damage.
Not bomb.
But don't take bomb. It's
Well,
not
it's
a bomb.
bomb.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
called bomb or spell.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, triple damage. Okay, this is
What's it say?
Power Surge.
Mm.
Okay, this is a lot of shit to add up right now because the way Spell Strike works is you do the damage of the spell and the damage of your weapon.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
So you're going to triple
that
your weapon
triple-
damage,
well,
triple your modifier, triple your spell damage. and
I'd
if
say
that-
triple the spell and then add that to your
Double
critical
weapon.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
Yeah, I like
So we'll do the spell, which is going to be 16 slashing damage from the spell alone, and then the weapon. God damn. 32 damage from the weapon.
that. So 48 altogether.
Yeah. God damn.
Cobcorn, as your weapon comes crashing down with a thunderous sound, the cauldron explodes. It shatters
yeah.
into shards of iron that scatter along the floor, and the last spurt of flame goes out, leaving you once again in the dark.
Hell yeah, dude. Ooh.
Sheesh.
I feel like after that, like as that happens, Joq is just standing there holding his sword cane in one hand and his amulet in the other hand, and then he just like stands there like when you get like a puff of smoke in your face, and he's like, I told you we shouldn't have come here. I told you we shouldn't have come here, and like wipes off the little like lenses of his mask. And then Joq would like to pull out a little dustpan and a tiny little broom, hand broom, and collect some of the iron dust.
And you do so. Enough to fill a small pouch.
That was intense. Didn't know we'd be fighting cooking utensils. But, I agree, I know it's a little dangerous, but information is power. Felt like leaving this place, we'd lose a little bit of what we're looking for. Start poking around a little bit.
Clearly someone else was here.
I need to get rid of this bleed. I forgot to do it at the end of my last turn.
Go for it right now.
Oh, no.
DC 15 flat check or until healed.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, so you do not recover immediately. You will need to be healed.
Lay on hands. 6 points of HP.
Yeah, well, sadly, it didn't break into my HP, but that would stop the bleeding. Yeah. Or would it be better to try a treat wounds? I don't remember when we...
Oh, yeah, I mean, there is a...
You can do a medicine check to staunch bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you to lose any spells.
It's too late.
It's too...
Dang.
Freaking...
Wish you said that sooner.
Oof.
Real rough, buddy.
Yeah, you can do treat, where is it? Administer first aid for 2 actions, which Colonel can't do. He's not trained.
Are any of you trained in medicine?
I am, yes.
Joq is, but I guess it's been long enough. It's been over an hour.
Yeah, no healer's tools over here.
Yeah, you traveled for a couple hours.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Or actually, Emad, if you wouldn't mind putting that healing towards my pig.
Sure, yeah.
He ain't got stamina.
6 points for little piggy boy, fully healed.
I rolled a 22 to administer first aid.
Nice, I would do it.
Yeah, so you stop bleeding. He reaches into his pouch and pulls out surprisingly clean gauze. He just kind of shoves it into your wound.
Nice.
Good job, little pig. Now, if only you could see your mother. She is much better than you. Soon enough, I'm sure. I won't be disappointed.
Anything left on this big old cauldron that busted? Start sifting through the ashes.
Yeah, could we take some time to dig around this room?
Absolutely.
Carefully?
You realize that with the volume and disorganization of this hut that it'd probably take you about 10 minutes or so to siphon through and see if you can find anything.
I'm in.
Yeah, since we're here, Joq would like to rummage around and take some stuff.
May as well take all these baubles that would go very well with the things that I already have.
Colonel will pray for 10 minutes while you guys are doing that, 'cause he can't find anything.
As the two of you spend your time rummaging through whatever's left in this hut, you join together to show your spoils, and together you find a collection of semi-precious stones and unique wood carvings. You estimate they'd be worth about 3 gold pieces altogether.
Neat.
I could probably shoot that up a bit.
What about, like, weird things? Effigies? You said there were effigies?
I mean, you got the little carvings.
There's also the strange thing that's on the chair opposite Varun, the humanoid, mummified-looking thing.
Yeah.
If you don't want to touch it, just tell Colonel he'll go touch it for you guys.
Heard that.
Is there, like, a check I can do to see if there's, like, any importance to that thing in the chair?
Give me a perception check.
12.
Okay, and Scarab, give me a survival check.
13.
The two of you inspecting this fake body, for lack of a better word, it seems almost like it was meant to be a distraction. Seeing as it's positioned across from the door, you surmise it was meant to entice others to investigate long enough for the cauldron to ward off any would-be intruders. However, Joq, while overlooking this strange thing, you do notice on the back of the chair, dangling from it, is a interesting but disgusting shrunken head.
Oh.
Yeah, Joq, walking around this, like, old thing is kind of just, like, you know, like, running his finger along the shelves and tables, like, ooh, and looks at the back of the chair and, like, disgusting, and he takes the head and puts it in a bag.
You surmise that this item is actually a trinket of sorts. It could be known as a soul speaker.
Uh-huh.
A grotesque amulet-like shrunken head is said to hold a shard of its owner's psyche. The head is often that of a humanoid, but any creature capable of speaking in life can provide the grisly component needed for this magic item's creation. The head can contain a short message whispered to it and can then be commanded to repeat the message later. While the soul speaker carries a message, the eyes of the head open and they close as soon as the message is delivered. The one you hold has its eyes closed.
Okay, so there is no message.
Correct. You can spend 2 actions to cast message, but instead of it being transmitted directly to a person's ears, it is stored inside of the soul speaker. Its eyes open, and the next time somebody spends 2 actions to activate it, it repeats the message you spoke with a rasping whisper before its eyes close again.
It's pretty cool.
So no leftover recordings in this thing?
Not on this one.
Bummer. Could have been helpful.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
Well, I guess if we're done in here, we can move on.
Yes, perhaps we can follow those tracks.
Yeah, see where... You might find some buddies out there. Said there were kobolds. But you don't like them. You said they're cowards or something. I don't know. You shouldn't judge people like that until you meet them, you know? Give them a chance. They're probably nice.
We walked into this cottage and you don't even want to see if there's anything at all in the tent?
Oh, I thought we did that already.
No.
Oh. Yeah, let's continue searching then. Sorry.
No. We walked right past the tent after saying that a hunter must have a tent into this witch's cottage.
Gotcha.
And yes, kobolds are cowards. Let's go.
As you make your way out around the back of the hut towards the campsite again, roll me a nature check.
Everybody?
Sure. Anybody who's got it.
14.
19.
Joq, you spy a small outcropping of what you know to be iron bloom mushrooms growing on the south wall of the hut.
More mushrooms. How strange. He'd like to attempt to harvest them. Well, first, can I do a recall knowledge on the mushrooms? I guess. Probably shouldn't just go grab mushrooms.
It poofs in your face and you die.
Your nature check's enough to know. Iron bloom mushrooms are just small fungi that grow in dark places that have lots of metal or metals around them. They're a favorite meal for dwarves and an ingredient used in remedial cures.
Oh, neat. Yeah. Can he attempt to harvest them?
Yeah. Nature check is fine.
12.
That's enough. You're able to harvest the small mushrooms and you store them away safely.
Does anyone else find it a bit strange that we found another little patch of unique mushrooms? These ones grow where metal is found.
And where were the other ones?
Before we found the wolves?
Underneath a rock outcropping early into your foray into the forest. And those were glow mold, a bioluminescent mushroom that retains its light if harvested properly.
And these you just found. You said that dwarves like to eat them. Aren't we looking for a dwarf? They've been gone for 10 years?
Perhaps if we put them in the cage where the fox was, a dwarf will come and take him.
Good idea. That's right.
Come
There's
back a couple
fox
days
sitting
later.
Here. Hey, little buddy. You a boy or a girl?
Alright, Professor Oak.
I'd rather not say. Let's see. Were they growing off of anything
On the
especially metal, or they just growing?
Nope, just seem to be growing on the back wall. As you continue on to the campsite again, it looks like whatever else that the hunter might have had on them in the tent seems to be gone with them. Presumably, whatever happened here, if the kobolds took and dragged someone or something away, you would guess that they probably took anything else of value.
As they would, baked clean. Messily.
Yeah, I would definitely want to study the tracks, so I, don't just blink and they're gone. I'd like to be able to follow this thoroughly.
You think that
Yes.
these tracks would be even easier to follow than the wolf prints you followed before, seeing as how they drag something unwillingly away. From where you are, you can see a clear path even through the undergrowth that leads towards the edge of the clearing.
Well, I suppose anything's better than here.
Yes. Agreed.
You gonna eat those mushrooms, Joq? I'm a little hungry.
You have rations,
I
Colonel?
don't.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have given them to the hobgoblin.
I was checking my inventory. No more rations.
Here, take all of my food, you creature that tried to kill me.
Hey, you never know. He might come in and help us. Book 7 or 8.
Meanwhile, in a dark corner of the woods sits a very fat hobgoblin, unable to move.
Fat level 1 hobgoblin. Oh yeah.
His pudgy little arms just waving in the air.
Yeah, Scarab's ready to roll.
So, which way y'all want to go? Are y'all still trying to find your way back, or are you going to follow tracks?
Scarab votes to follow the tracks.
Concur.
Okay. Several times as you venture through the woods, you almost lose sight of the tracks you're following. At one point, you even come to the edge of a river, but you find a narrow crossing that on the other side has clear drag marks in the mud, and you continue to follow. Further and further you go, until you hear something in the distance. Roll me a perception check.
Boy.
18.
22.
5.
You're right. You should just stick to hitting.
I mean, when you do well, you do very well.
Yeah. I'm really curious. What did you roll?
A 2. Okay. I've got a +3 perception.
What's yours?
+7.
Mine too.
All of you can hear the heavy rhythmic beating coming from above you that sounds like...
Oh no.
But Scarab is the only one who looks up in time, and between a gap in the trees, you only very briefly see the distinct blue scales of a wyvern soaring through the sky above you.
Oh my god.
In that moment, Scarab will grab at Pig and dart next to or behind a tree, just, out of sight. He won't say anything either. he will just run off to the side. You guys could see it for yourself.
I think seeing Scarab do that, Joq will start looking around in a panic and then scurry over to a tree himself.
It's like those wonderful videos of some people sitting on the couch and one of them just gets up and goes, ah, and runs. Have you seen that shit?
Yes, where
Very
people
funny.
pretend like something scary's happening just to get the reaction of other people. It's the best.
I saw one where someone just started running down a hall in a college, and then people just started following them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's messed up.
Everyone starts running. Oh, yeah.
Damn
that's bad.
sheeple.
I mean, in a college, I think I might start running.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified.
Any kind of
Yeah.
educational establishment.
By the end, there was a whole crowd of people just running out of the building.
Like that.
It's funny.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's
But,
messed up.
God.
But yeah, Scarab will run, try to get his composure.
You hear the wing beats getting further and further away.
Oh, damn. Which direction was this heading compared to us?
Overhead in the same direction, but it seems... If you know what, go ahead and give me another perception check.
He's a little rattled. That's a 9.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make out through the canopy of the trees exactly where it's going, but you have a general sense of the direction. Assuming you're not still turned around, you think that it headed northward.
Yeah, Scarab steps out of the brush, knocks leaves and twigs off of his cloak.
Well, should we continue?
Yeah, that was a quick bathroom break. Colonel was just standing there.
Joq is
He didn't go take cover or anything.
Joq is by the tree, cowering down, covering his head, like holding his cane and like looking around.
It's okay, son. We won't look. Scarab, turn around. Give him some privacy.
No, don't mind me. Let those who cower, cower.
Okay. What was it?
Oh, what? No, nothing at all. I just
heard
had to pee.
I heard like a whoo, almost like maybe like a pendulum was coming through the trees sort of deal, and it was very scary. I don't know what it was, but I saw you run, so I ran. I ran away.
Oh, wow,
It's okay,
man, that's
son.
crazy.
Puts a hand on Jock's shoulder.
Don't touch me. I didn't say it wasn't okay. I feel like it was a smart move.
Puberty's different for everybody. It's okay.
I am an adult.
Come, we should stay quiet, very quiet. Get as quiet as you can. Forward!
Oh.
As you continue eastward by northeast, you see on your right the river is bending back your way. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I got this. 24.
17.
14.
Nice. Scarab, you note that as the dragging path was heading along what would be the river's edge, it suddenly veers sharply north. And Cobcorn, while he's investigating, you can see near the riverbed on the side, there is the appearance of something else that seems to have been dragged, or some sort of drag mark. But these are very different markings. There are one large set of prints on either side, as if something with large clawed feet was dragging something heavy beneath it, that is coming out from the river's edge and heading due north.
Think we found some big bird tracks.
Perhaps a wyvern.
What
Corn
made you
cob,
think
I
it's a
think-
wyvern?
I think those are your tracks. I can see them myself. I've been following you and I see.
Look,
Oh, there you
look.
go.
Look. We must be getting close. Where there's water, there's things, as we see.
Wait, did you say wyvern? We should go, we should leave, we should go back, we should leave.
There was a wyvern that flew above us. But if it's in cahoots with these kobold, we might be fine.
The kobolds that carried someone away against their will.
Yeah.
Good.
Carried them away far back where we were. We're not being carried, so we're fine.
Yeah.
Because if they were going to carry us, I'm sure they would have done it already. That's how these things work.
Oh dear. I just want to go back to my room, to my crafts.
Look, you still have a chance. I know I hired you and you signed on to help me find my cart, but if you're gonna chicken out...
Hey.
You've done amazing. You're awesome. You're great. But no, I'm not gonna ask you to go into danger. And excitement and riches and... possibility. I would never ask you.
You expect me to go all the way back by myself? Just carry on.
Yeah, we'll be fine, Jock.
You almost said it right that time. That was pretty exciting, I guess.
He didn't hear that. He's still walking.
Oof. Now the question is, do we follow the river or try to stay out of sight?
Is it still pretty covered or no? Are we in a clearing right now with the river?
On the river's edge is fairly clear, but you guys are... the tracks from the kobolds were still underneath the trees.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, those tracks were heading in a more northeastern direction, and the large dragging mark that Cobcorn, was going due north.
Could we surmise that this due north leads back to the warg? Or are we way off of that now? Because I know we went down, then we're going back another way.
Yeah, it's... you know what? Give me a survival check to see if you can orient your direction.
13. Yeah, because Scarab would be trying to piece this out, unless it clearly looks like something different. I guess he just doesn't want to believe that there are multiple giant creatures here, even though he did see the wyvern.
19.
19 is enough to know that the direction that you're already heading with your set of tracks seems to be heading towards the warg, or at least the warg's general direction. This large, swath cut out of the dirt that is heading in a true north direction seems to be heading away from there. You're actually not 100% sure where the wyvern went, aside from a general north direction.
Yeah, the only thing we know for sure are these tracks here. Could be the hunter that we're looking for. Definitely kobold. Perhaps a wyvern. It was blue. It flew over us. That's why I ran into the woods. I'm sorry.
Oh. Oh, boy. We should stick to your people. Maybe we'll have better luck with them.
Looking down, you can see the sharp veering off that the kobold tracks did. It seems like they kind of dragged whatever they're dragging almost in a circle, like they were panicking for a moment. But it seems like they spent a good deal amount of time here before they resumed their journey, and eventually it looks like they actually cross over those other tracks.
Now, you don't have to if it's too much, but no, I'm forgetting. I just forgot what tribe it was. True Scales. Would I remember if they are a certain a certain color or mixed? Basically, would they happen to be blue as well? Because I can only imagine. He can only imagine in some cases, if it was blue and they are blue, then they could be in cahoots. Otherwise, big possibility that they were in fear of said big thing, and we're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
You know that there is always that admiration for their draconic bloodline, but while it's a possibility, there's nothing that you've seen so far that confirms that they are working with or worshipping a drake.
Yeah, but they were definitely scared.
Yeah, they're afraid of it, for sure.
I say we keep following these tracks.
Did they drop anything?
Not that you can see.
Probably safest bet to follow these tracks here. And stay quiet.
Gotcha. Righto.
Let's go!
You're both very loud.
Once the tracks have gone far enough east, they begin to slope and veer north again, going further and further into the woods and away from the river. The sounds of rushing water fade away behind you as once again you find yourself in the dark and chirping woods. Once again, the tracks begin to veer sharply, and you can see the direction opposite from whence they veer. There is what appears to be another clearing to the northwest of you.
So they're definitely trying to stay hidden.
Mm-hmm. It almost seems like where the edge of that clearing is, or what you surmise to be a clearing, as it seems lighter over there. The tracks seem to circumnavigate that spot. Still trying to head north, but rather than going through the clearing, they're going around it.
Jasper.
And you hear a wild cat asking for dinner.
Baby boy.
He's literally right there.
Yeah.
Hi!
We do a perception on the clearing, see if there's anything of note.
Yeah, I'm super curious.
Do you want to just, like, venture up to the edge and peer in and see what you see?
Yeah.
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 How are we doing this? You just gonna walk up? Anybody want to try to stealth
Same.
up?
Definitely stealthing.
Yes.
Colonel will stay back. He won't go up.
Okay. Then I'll need stealth checks from Scarab and Joq.
20.
Yeah, not a good one. I got a 14. I did want to, just in case, hunt prey on that wyvern.
Okay. As quietly as you can, you approach. The dense trees and thick brush of the forest give way, parting seemingly in respect for the titanic dark wood tree that dominates this clearing. Its towering trunk reaches over 100 feet towards the sky, its broad branches fanning over the surrounding glade while thick tangles of roots and vines spread out along the tree's base. In the center of this clearing is only this massive tree.
Big tree.
Can I do like a...
Sure, do a nature check.
I too would like to. 21.
23?
Beautiful. Both of you recognize this to be an elder darkwood tree, apparently an ancient one. And from what you know, Scarab, this would be the most ancient of its kind in the Darkmoon Vale. You recall an old legend passed down by the druids who long ago dwelled in this region. The stories say this tree was carried as a sapling from the first world and planted here in a distant past by Deerzir, the eagle of the first way. The story goes on to claim that all of the Darkmoon Vale grew from this one tree alone.
It's pretty cool. Does that mean we're in the center of the forest or something?
This is hallowed ground.
Yeah, Scarab actually, kneels in front of, or kneels down when seeing it, out of respect. He closes his eyes, mutters something to himself, and he looks at the tree and all around it. Any signs of life?
Give me a perception.
18.
You notice very, very high up in the tree's upper limbs, you see 3 bodies that are hanging.
Oh my god.
Hanging from the limbs. Not necessarily by a rope or anything, just bodies dangling from the branches.
Joq seeing this tree. He lowers his head and the anime thing of the shing happens on his lenses, and he just mutters, "I need some bark."
You want to go up and gather some bark?
I'd like to sneak up to the tree.
Where are you going?
I need some bark.
Not from this tree.
There's nothing else like it.
Then you wish for death.
I wish for knowledge.
Go ahead.
Yep. You're going to walk up and collect some?
Sneak.
Sneak. Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Scarab ducks away into the wood.
22.
You see that copcorn?
Oh, he's nowhere near you guys. Unless you came back to him, because he's still on the trail.
Well, how far back are you on
Miles.
Yeah, no.
As soon as you guys started sneaking, that's how far he is.
Yeah, not too far from the clearing. Enough to where you could see it from the tracks. You were probably, I know I said not too far. You're probably 40 feet away from the clearing's edge.
Cool.
Because it was enough to kind of see it.
Well, then Scarab would call you over to where he is, on the edge of the clearing.
Oh, we're clear?
No, he's He's just like, shh.
Oh,
Get over here. Just
Clang, 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 clang.
clank, 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 clank.
Just in case something happens.
Yeah, Colonel comes up.
You see this tree?
It's huge. What's my boy doing?
Probably something stupid. That's why I called you here. This tree.
Oh, he's one of the smartest people I know.
Nature comes from this. All that's around us comes from this tree. It's a special place. I fear your boy might be getting into trouble, so we'll watch.
Joq, go ahead and roll me a nature check to harvest some of this.
God.
The logger's back in town.
24.
Beautiful.
I'm rolling so well right now.
As
Yeah,
you
dude.
place your hands on a rather nice looking piece of bark, you give it an experimental tug, and it comes free in a large chunk. It's something you could easily strap to your back, and you imagine it's large enough and a clean enough piece, potentially you could have something made from it. So you can just add Elder Darkwood slab to your character sheet.
Well, while he's there, can he do a perception check on the bodies?
Yes.
Those lumberjacks back in town, if they come close to here, wrath of the gods might come upon them.
14.
Oh, Scarab, there's only one true god. Hai Fang, of course.
Tell me about him.
Peering up, it's a little difficult from where you are to see the exact details, but you have a fairly decent vantage point. You see what appear to be 3 hunters dangling from the tree branches above, and their flesh appears to be mangled and gnawed, although it does seem like some of their possessions remain around them. Even looking down, you notice a few older broken arrows just at the base of the tree. And you hear a low hissing rumble as from behind the edge of the tree above you, behind the trunk, wrapping around it, comes a large serpentine head, followed quickly by 2 claws, and it lunges. So I will say, yeah, we're going to wrap that, sorry. That's it, bye, get out of here.
The Cursed Caravan uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy, paizo.com/community use. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. The Cursed Caravan is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. The Cursed Caravan theme music and the beat you're hearing right now is written by...
Oh, is that me?
That's you!
Thank you.
This is written by Matthew. We would also like to thank Michael Gelfie Studios, the world reference for tabletop RPG audio, for the music and the ambiance. You can find out more about them at michaelgelfie.com.
Thank you, Michael Gelfie.
Thank you, Michael Gelfie. Check out their Patreon and YouTube links in the description. Also, don't forget to leave us a comment and rate us 5 stars on your podcast app of choice, especially Apple Podcasts. Get on there. We see you guys. We see you on Apple Podcasts. We need you. Also on Spotify, our biggest audience.
Especially y'all in Kansas. We know you're there.
Oh, yeah. It's a big blip in Kansas. I want to hear from that guy on the lake. We literally see like one of the biggest blips is somebody just chilling out, listening to our podcast on a lake. And that's awesome. That makes us happy.
Love that.
Now go on, get out of here. What's wrong with you?
The Cursed Caravan Podcast on Instagram.com. Come.
Yes, all of our contact information is in the description. And thank you for being a traveler on the Cursed Caravan.
Find Emma on Pornhub.
Bye-bye! It's a very little town.
Looks like a Red Dead town.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, everybody knows everybody here.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think. Not if I lived here.
Yeah.
You'd never see me.
Same.
I want to live here.
My neighbors probably think when I go to work, there's that fat bearded guy that doesn't mow his lawn.
I've never talked to my neighbors.
Me either.
I've been there for years.
I talked to your new across the street neighbors.
Why?
Well, I went out
Well, why'd you do that?
I went out to get a shirt for Cody or whatever. And while I was doing that, one of the people went to go drive away and they had stuff on top of their car. And so I stopped them to tell them they had stuff on top of their car.